Have you ever been in a meeting, maybe giving your first big presentation, or even just trying to get an idea across to your manager,
Oh, yeah.
and you felt like your words were just hitting a brick wall, like you had this great thought, totally logical, but it just didn't seem to land?
Definitely. We've all been there. It's a really common frustration.
Especially, I think, when you're navigating those first few years of your career, right? Your level 1 life stage, where every interaction feels like it carries a bit more weight.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you could change that? What if you could speak in a way that, genuinely connects, that influences people, make sure your message isn't just heard, but actually sticks?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show that cuts through the noise to get you well-informed, fast. Today, it's all about how to talk so people listen.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission, especially for you on that level 1 life journey, is to unpack the core ideas behind really effective communication. We're digging into some comprehensive source material to give you a shortcut.
Yeah, the goal is helping you be more influential, more understood, whether it's, at work or just in daily life.
So what have we got?
Well, our sources are pretty rich. They cover everything from, basic human drives to how things like TV have shaped our listening habits.
TV. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it offers practical strategies, too, for one-on-ones, presentations, meetings, pretty much the works.
All right, let's get into it. First, big question. Why don't people listen sometimes? And why isn't it always their fault?
Right. Well, think about how most of us approach communicating. It's often very one-sided.
How so?
We focus so much on what we want to say, what our point is, but we kind of forget there's a whole other person on the receiving end with their own stuff going on.
Right, their own priorities, their own worries.
Exactly. It's like trying to offer someone soup when they were really hoping for ice cream. The soup might be amazing, but it's just not what they're tuned in for at that moment.
That's a good analogy. It's not about the soup being bad.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is how deep some of these habits run.
Yeah.
Even from childhood, we learn to filter our feelings. Don't cry, be nice, control your temper.
We build this internal censor.
Yeah, exactly. It disrupts that direct line from feeling to action. So sometimes we're not even sure what we really mean, let alone how to say it authentically. We put on this competent, in control face.
Which can actually get in the way of connecting.
Ironically, yes. And let's be honest, really listening. It's hard work. It takes energy. It takes focus. And crucially, it takes time away from the listener's number 1 favorite topic.
Themselves.
You got it. Ourselves.
Okay, so this leads to a pretty big idea then. If you want someone to listen, you've got to flip the spotlight.
That's a great way to put it. Shift your self-interest beam, as our source calls it, onto their interests, even if it feels a bit backward at first.
Because the prime motivator for anyone listening is their own self-interest.
Absolutely. Think about your own workday. Which emails grab your attention first? Which tasks do you jump on? Which training actually makes you sit up and pay attention?
Usually the ones that solve a problem I have, or help me look good, or maybe make my job easier.
Exactly. It always comes back to what's in it for me. So the key takeaway here is, first, figure out and show them what's in it for them. Address their point of view before you even bring up yours.
Like offering dessert first, you said? Get their attention that way.
Sort of. It primes them to be more receptive to the main course, which is your message.
Okay. That makes sense. But it's not just what you say, right? It's also about you, the person speaking.
Oh, absolutely. Beyond the words, people are constantly sending and receiving these implicit messages about trust and connection. They're subconsciously asking, do I believe this person? Do I like them? Can I trust them? How does this affect me?
So your personal style matters a lot.
Hugely. People naturally respond better to warmth, honesty, authenticity. Think about who you trust. They probably make you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, conversely, if someone comes across as closed off, maybe a bit fake, or super intense and pushy, it's an instant turnoff. That initial verbal handshake is crucial for building credibility.
And here's where it gets really interesting. You mentioned TV earlier. How does that fit in, especially for, our audience who grew up totally immersed in digital media?
Right. This is fascinating. Our sources argue that decades of TV and now digital media have literally rewired our brains and expectations.
Rewired? How?
Think about TV news. Stories are short, like a minute and a half max. They focus on what's new, Visuals are king. Pictures tell the story, right?
Yeah.
They're expected as proof.
Yeah, you don't see many long static shots of someone just talking anymore.
Exactly. The talking head gets maybe 30 seconds before it feels boring.
Yeah.
So what does that train us to expect?
The highlights, the bottom line, quick, visual.
Precisely. The essence, delivered efficiently, maybe even with a bit of visual flair. And think about how we watch TV. Often while doing other things, right? Multitasking.
Guilty. Scrolling my phone, definitely.
So we're conditioned for a certain level of inattention. If the message isn't grabbing us immediately, we have the ultimate power.
The remote control. Or just mentally checking out.
Yep. The veto the subject button.
Yeah.
So for you, crafting a message today means being concise, impactful, and maybe even visual isn't just nice to have. It's essential for survival.
Wow. Okay, that's a big shift in thinking about communication. It's not just words.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And that leads perfectly into nonverbal communication. Our sources have this great little story about Jack in the corridor. Oh. You bump into Jack, ask, how's it going? He says, fine, fine. But he's backing away slightly, not really making eye contact, maybe shuffling papers. His voice is rushed. He lets out a sigh.
Do you believe him?
Not for a second. His body language, his tone, the rhythm of his speech, all those nonverbal cues are screaming something different than his words.
So the unspoken stuff often tells the real story.
Often, yes. Words are symbols processed by the brain. But nonverbals, they often come from a more instinctive place. If you muted the sound on that Jack scenario, you'd still get the message, loud and clear.
So remember, your body is always talking to. Okay, got it. This all feels like we need to understand our audience on a deeper level.
Exactly right. Which brings us to understanding who you're talking to, especially in a work context. Our sources highlight David McClelland's theory about 3 basic work personalities.
Work personalities, like Myers-Briggs?
Sorta, but maybe simpler and more focused on motivation at work. They are achievers, affiliators, and influencers. We all have bits of each, but one usually dominates.
Okay, break them down for us. Achievers.
Achievers are your goal-oriented folks. They love taking personal responsibility, setting achievable targets, and getting concrete feedback. They tend to see people maybe a bit like resources to get the job done.
Think competitive individual sports.
Yeah.
Or a really driven project manager.
Exactly. So if you're talking to an achiever, your message needs to be direct, focused on results. Show them how your idea helps them hit their targets. Like, this will cut project time by 15%.
Got it. Next, affiliators.
Affiliators are all about belonging, relating, being liked. Think team player. They tend to avoid conflict and thrive in group settings. Their theme song might be Lean on Me. Maybe bring donuts.
Ah, okay, maybe not just donuts.
Right, but focusing on collaboration, team benefits, harmony, that's key. This approach will help us all work together more smoothly, that kind of thing.
Okay, makes sense. And the last one, influencers.
Influencers seek, well, influence. Power, authority, making a visible impact through others. Think of a coach, a team captain, someone who enjoys leading the charge. They're often self-confident, clear goals.
And for them.
Focus on how your idea enhances their impact, gives them visibility, expands their sphere. This strategy will position you as a leader in this area. And interestingly, our source notes that a lot of managers lean towards the achiever style.
Good tip. Knowing that helps tailor the message.
Absolutely. It's like having a bit of a decoder ring for workplace interactions.
Okay, this is great for understanding people, but how do we use this insight before we even start talking? Is there a tool or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Our source introduces something called the forethought chart. It's a really practical way to analyze a situation before you communicate. It goes beyond just the facts.
Forethought chart. Sounds serious. Is it complex?
Not really. It's actually quite logical. It just asks you to think about 3 things for both you and the other person.
3 things. Okay, what are they?
1, objective goals. What do you each tangibly want to accomplish? 2, emotional needs. What are the underlying feelings, the hidden hungers? And 3, probable expectations. Based on past experiences, what do you both think is going to happen?
Okay. Can we use an example? Maybe that late report scenario.
Perfect. So the exec's objective goal, get reports on time. Mike's objective goal, avoid getting yelled at, fix the issue. Simple enough.
Right. Now, emotional needs. This feels trickier.
It can be, but think about it. The exec might need to look competent to their own boss. They don't want to seem like they can't manage their team. Mike probably needs to save face, feel useful, not feel like a failure.
Okay, yeah. And the expectations.
The exec probably expects Mike to get defensive, make excuses. Mike probably expects the exec to be angry, demanding promises he might not be able to keep.
So laying it all out like that, what does it
Oh,
achieve?
it gives you incredible insight. Because here's the kicker. Once you understand their likely expectations, you can consciously choose to counter them, surprise them in a good way.
Like in the example dialogue you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Instead of the expected anger, damn it, Mike, the exec starts with empathy. Mike, I know you've been having trouble. I'm sure you don't like it either. Let's figure out how we can fix it.
That completely changes the dynamic. Mike's probably thinking, whoa, okay, this isn't the attack I expected.
Right. It disarms him. It shifts immediately from blame to collaborative problem solving. He's much more likely to listen and engage constructively because his core fear wasn't realized. It's like a communication cheat code.
I like that, a cheat code for awkward conversations. Okay, so we've analyzed the situation. Now we need to actually craft and deliver the message. Any tips there?
Definitely. Structure is key. Our minds naturally look for logic and chronology. The source suggests thinking like TV news. Long shot, medium shot, close up.
So start broad, then get more specific.
Exactly. Give the big picture context first, long shot, and zoom into the main details, medium shot, then focus on the specifics needed, close up. And the absolute crucial takeaway here is tell them what they need to know, not all you know.
Ooh, that's a good one, especially when you've done tons of research.
Right. Resist the urge to data dump, just the relevant highlights, and make it visual whenever possible. Numbers, comparisons, timelines, visuals make complex stuff much clearer and stickier.
Okay, and how should we prepare for delivery? Read a script. Wing it.
The sweet spot is extemporaneous speaking. Know your stuff. Have clear, well-organized notes. Think keywords on full pages, maybe use symbols for reminders, indents for structure, but don't read word for word.
Why not read? Seems safer.
It sounds unnatural, inflexible. You can't adapt to the audience's reaction. It just feels read. Being able to speak from your notes allows you to connect much better.
Makes sense. What about grabbing attention right at the start? Those first couple of minutes are critical, right?
Absolutely golden. Forget generic opening stories unless they're incredibly relevant. Your opening needs to establish your theme, clearly state the value for the audience, that what's in it for them again, and create a quick personal connection. Maybe a shared goal, a surprising insight.
Hook them fast and keep them hooked. How do we stop them from just passively sitting there?
Involve them. Ask questions, rhetorical ones, or even quick polls. Raise your hand if. Get them moving, if appropriate. A turn to your neighbor and discuss this for 60 seconds can work wonders. Anything to break passivity.
Right, make it interactive. And language matters too, obviously.
Hugely. Clarity is paramount. Avoid jargon they might not know. It just makes people tune out or feel dumb. Use analogies, real-life examples to make complex ideas relatable. Use vivid, descriptive words, visual words that paint a picture.
And emphasize key points.
Yeah, through repetition, maybe changing your pace or tone, using a catchy phrase or doing quick recaps. Sometimes, a well-timed pause can be incredibly powerful too.
Okay, this is all great for planned communication, but what about the unpredictable stuff like Q&A or even hostility? That can be scary.
It can feel daunting, yeah. But Q&A is actually a gift. It shows you what wasn't clear, lets you add more value, and honestly, handling questions well shows your command of the topic.
So how to handle them well?
First, create a genuinely welcoming vibe. Invite questions, then really listen. Discipline yourself to hear the whole question. Clarify if it's rambling, and try to understand the intent behind it. Is it confusion? A challenge?
Hostility.
And stay relaxed. Try to. Keep it conversational. And please, don't get drawn into a one-on-one debate that bores everyone else. Suggest taking lengthy debates offline.
What if you just don't know the answer? Panic.
No, best thing. Just say so. That's a great question. I don't have that specific data right now, but I can find out and get back to you. Honesty builds way more trust than bluffing.
Good advice. Okay, now the really tough one. Hostility. Someone's angry, maybe challenging you aggressively. What do you do?
Number one rule. Stay calm and rational. That's the main goal. Don't mirror their anger.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True, but crucial. Then, allow the anger. Don't judge it. Try naming it calmly. I can see you're very concerned about this, or I hear the frustration in your voice.
Why does naming it help?
It helps depersonalize it. It acknowledges their feeling without validating aggression, and it shifts focus to the issue, not you personally. Then, try to understand the core objection. Ask clarifying questions. Can you tell me more about your specific concern with X?
So it's about managing the emotion to get back to the substance, shifting from fight to figuring it out.
Exactly. You're there to understand and potentially solve a problem, not to win an argument or absorb personal attacks.
Okay, one last area. Meetings. We all spend so much time in them. How do we make those moments count for listening and being heard?
Meetings. The potential graveyard of good intentions. Common problems are passivity, people afraid to speak up, avoiding conflict, old baggage influencing things.
Yeah, sounds familiar, but they can be good.
Absolutely. They're great for joint problem solving, getting different perspectives, building consensus, sparking ideas. The key is active participation.
So what skills do we need?
Active listening is huge again. Really trying to understand others' points, supporting good ideas, even if they aren't yours, acknowledging them, building on them, and knowing how to disagree constructively.
How do you do that? Disagree without being disagreeable.
Focus on the idea, not the person. Offer alternatives or reasons clearly. Avoid personal jabs.
Yeah.
I see that point, but have we considered this alternative because of X rather than that'll never work?
And if you're leading the meeting?
Be a host, a traffic cop, and a clarity watchdog. Use warm-ups, keep the agenda visible, manage time, make sure everyone's heard.
And if you're participating?
Don't just sit there. Get involved early. Come prepared. Choose a seat where you can engage easily. Don't get defensive if your idea is challenged. See it as refinement. Ask for suggestions. Show up to contribute, not just attend.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of ground we've covered.
It really is. But if we boil it down, the big themes are: always start with their self-interest. Adapt your style. Think about their personality. Think about those modern media expectations. And use that forethought idea to plan strategically.
So applying these ideas really can shift things, moving from just talking at people to actually having them listen, understand, maybe even be persuaded.
That's the goal. Whether it's a quick chat, a big pitch, or a team meeting, it's about making that connection.
It really comes down to thoughtfulness, doesn't it? Understanding the people you're talking to. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, in this constantly changing world, your most powerful tool isn't just what you say, but how thoughtfully you choose to say it. What small change will you try today to connect just a little bit better?
Great question to end on. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Hopefully it helps level up that communication game.
We hope so too. We'll catch you on the next deep dive, helping you navigate your level 1 life.